It is such a pleasure and an honor to be here with you all today. I am Bethany Bosworth, and I am trained in energy healing, and I am trained in intuitive readings. And so I combine that training with my background in nursing, my sciencey background that I love so much. And so, what I love to do is to teach concepts that are grasp, we can grasp it with our analytical mind about how this world really works in terms of energy. And also, I love to invite in more experience for each of us of our true knowing that we too are gifted in these ways, and that we too can be our own guru and our own inner source of wisdom. And so, my goal and my honor is to help you to activate more into your divine purpose by giving you more tools and understandings that you are invited to adapt or to not adapt according to what feels right in your soul, what feels right in your heart. And I will present some opportunities for new perspectives, and I love that we are all beautiful sovereign beings and we get to choose what we believe now. When we were children, we were taught what to believe by other people that were taught what to believe when they were children. And so now, as sovereign, grown adults with many, many eons of experience in this life, and if you choose to believe others, we are gathered here on a beautiful divine mission to assist all of the beings that we can possibly reach in their ascension, in their rising from the mud and in reaching for the sun, and empowering them to step into their divine purpose. But if you have been called into this wellness warriors team, if you have found us, it's because you have a very special, special mission. And our beautiful leader, Kimberly Sanders, she, can you just feel her love just by this container that she's created for us? And can you just feel how beautiful it is that the tribe that you've been looking for is right here with you, before you now? You have arrived. So, yes. So, this is an opportunity to choose what we believe based on what makes most sense to us and what brings us the most peace. If there's a concept that cannot be proven nor disproven, we are left then with a choice of how we will live, just in case it is or isn't true, and and how we see the world now. So we get to decide what we believe. And so today, as you hear the concepts that I will present to you, just lean into what feels good, and let's go. So I'm just going to say a prayer, a blessing, and this is what I train all of my clients who come to me. It is wise whenever you are entering into your sacred work to set a container. And all of that would look like is you saying a prayer, maybe clearing the space, maybe if your energy has been a little off, and you've been seeing a lot of people come and go in the space that you're at, it's a good idea to clear it, right? Grab your little spritz. I love frankincense in water. It's so beautiful. Oh, and Kimberly has access to the most amazing sacred clearing spray. You should reach out to her about it. And oh my gosh, Barry, our team in this mission fills my self-love cup. Yes, this team is so filled with beautiful, wise elders and wise sisters, and we all love all of us. We all love each other like we love ourselves. And we can all thank Miss Kimberly for helping us to learn how to love ourselves even more. So you've got your space is just cleared, and taking some nice deep breaths. You can just maybe go in for a count of 6 and hold it for 3 and then blow out for 9. And I'm going to lead you in this, okay? And anytime we blow out longer than what we inhaled, it starts to entrain the brain to the theta waves. So let's just do an inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale for 9. Exhale for 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And so we just invite in the divine presence of the creator, creatrix. And we just ask for the blessing of this beautiful consciousness, the one source, the love that is within every one of us. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for overseeing this mission. Thank you that you have provided us nourishment of the earth, and we invite in our beautiful Sophia Gaia, the Mother Earth, and we just send a grounding cord into her right now. Just send a nice, beautiful, thick grounding cord through your chair, through the floor. Now, as we're doing that, going deeper, I'm just going to say, may it be with the blessings of this beautiful creatrix, that everything that happens here in this healing session is for all of our highest good, our highest light, our highest soul purpose. And we invite in the directions, and we invite in the Ascended Master Council and the angelic beings and our higher selves to step forward and bring forth the wisdom that is in the perfect divine timing for each of us to hear, and let all of the healing that is received today be done in perfect timing for each soul individually on their soul's path. And let all that is available to each soul here to clear and heal be healed and cleared. Aho, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for joining me in this very sacred space, this very sacred container. And what we have the honor of doing is teaching those who we will reach how sacred this vessel really, truly is. And we get to choose to believe that this vessel contains the shining glory light of this creator in every one of our electrons. And I'm going to take you back to science class, and you might remember the structure of an atom, which is it's a nucleus, and then it has neutrons and protons, the positive and the negatively charged. or neutrons are just, they're neutral, they have no charge. The electrons are the ones that are negatively charged, and these are what's spinning around the nucleus in that atom. Okay, and even a rock has movement because these electrons are, and neutrons and protons are still spinning around that nucleus. So when this spinning happens, we have a what's called electromagnetic frequency wave that's generated by that energy. So what is that energy that is making the electrons spin even inside of a rock, which we have scientific instruments that can pick up the frequency of a rock. I have a salt rock lamp out there. It's sodium and chloride atoms put together. And this is looking pretty stable in those two, that molecule. But when we get down into the atom, we're talking about the electrons, and the electrons are an important thing to consider, because when there's balance in that atom, that means that there's an equal number of electrons in that outer shell. Okay, and when we talk about free radicals, we're talking about atoms that are missing an electron in their outer shell, which makes them unstable. Okay, so in our profession, what we've chosen here, it's important to understand the structure of the atom, because all dis-ease in the body is stemming ultimately from free radical damage, and the atoms are being degraded and destroyed. So that's why this, what I love to say, plant medicine of the Purium that we're bringing in is so important, because the antioxidants, which are found in all of these beautiful foods and herbs, are what have an extra electron in their outer shell. And so the extra electron now can be donated to all those free radicals, and it can stabilize that atom so that it's not bouncing around and being destructive. So the electron and its frequency is very tied to the state of health in the body. And it is also tied to the emotional state of the body. And the energy centers in our body are very densely packed neuron conglomerates. And these are tying into the chakras, that what are tied, this is my nurse brain trying to understand what are chakras. They're energy centers. And so think about all of the neurons, all of the nerve fibers at the root chakra. There's a lot of nerves going on in that area. And then we have our womb space, which we are, okay, so root chakra, and then we have the womb space, the sacral chakra, and that is a very densely packed area of nerves as well. It's the portal area where the consciousness of a being will come into this body. And then we have the diaphragm area, where we have the solar plexus chakra. This is very densely packed as well. Think about how sensitive your diaphragm is and how it just runs without you even thinking about it. And then we have this heart, where it is so densely packed with neurons, actually more nerve fibers in the heart than in the brain. And there's something in the heart that is just like automatically triggering it to pump. There's this node, it's just this little area that is just programmed to just beat. And it can beat and beat and beat for 120 years. If it's given the right fuel, and it's put in, and if it's bathed in a solution that is alkaline and nourishing instead of acidic. So each one of us have been called to this very important healing mission. And what we're doing when we help someone wake up in their bodies, and we help them to wake up to their sovereignty of knowing that nobody gets to tell them what to believe, what to think, how to behave, and they get to have a choice about what they eat now that is so clean, and they don't even have to think about it. They can just make it in a shake in 3 minutes. So we're helping people to activate into their divine purpose and into joy. And so our mission is very important. You are very important. We are all so very important. And our souls, I like believing that our souls came knowing that we needed to be here for a long time. And so what we're doing when we take care of ourselves and we see these bodies as holy vessels, we are giving the reverence to these vehicles that are holding this spirit within us. We are ensuring that we can reach more of the suffering and hurting people in this world. And I also love to teach this beautiful concept of compassionate witnessing of those people in their suffering. And many of us will relate with this idea of being empathic. We call ourselves empaths, right? And I've heard many times people will say, oh, I pick up everything. And I just, and people will actually shy away from being around people because of how empathic and sensitive they are. So I love to help people to step up in the perspective of when they are witnessing the one before them as they travel through a very intense part of their soul's designed purpose for growth. And that is a hard concept to really grasp. But if we look at our soul's purpose here from an eternal perspective of perhaps many thousands of lifetimes, does it make sense that we come in with a set of learning goals? I like to see it as we're choosing a college, and when we choose a college, and we're going to invest a lot of time and resources into this schooling. Are we going to choose one that has no tests or quizzes? We, if we did that, if that were even an option, we maybe would have a lot of fun. And I do believe that we have lives where we have more fun than, we do have some of those reprieve kind of lifetimes maybe, but we're going to have the challenges um, before us as opportunities for the upgrades in our ascension journey. And so it is really truly when we can surrender this idea that no one should ever feel pain, because believing that does not change anyone's experience, and it actually also can invite in suffering. To believe that something is wrong with life if I'm feeling pain. So I invite in an opportunity to consider releasing words that would invoke this concept of duality. And duality is what this world is really built on. It's contrast. And it makes sense to me that the creator wanted to experience contrast, that maybe this beautiful creator would want to experience the hard things, what it feels like to maybe forget that you're worthy of love, or maybe to what it feels like to be betrayed by love. How would the creator know what it feels like if the creator did not create this vessel, which comes with standard operating equipment called the emotional body and the egoic mind identity, the thinking mind? This is the consciousness of your living spacesuit that you're wearing. You could see it this way. You could choose to see it this way. And then we have these eternal energy fractals of God that are experiencing life through the eyes of this personality, which up until now, up until we awaken, we fully identify with being this personality self, and the thoughts that are running in the brain are creating our reality. How we see the world is truly how we're experiencing our world. And these electrons that I love to speak about, I want to invite you to imagine if we could put on a pair of electron microscope glasses and we could look out in this room that you're sitting in, just looking at the electrons spinning in space. It'd be a little bit or a lot like the Matrix, only instead of the numbers, we would just see these fractals of God, fractals of the Creator, whatever you wish to call it. This is energy that is creating our reality. It's the fabric of reality. It's what everything is made of. And it's energy. They're just energy. And you can imagine that they are affected, fractals of love. Yes, very. They are they're affected by the electromagnetic frequency of the various uh, groups of electrons in the room, because if you look in, you can see where there's really no separation between us if we're looking at just the electrons, okay? Because there's electrons in the air. And so you can see where maybe the electrons are arranged in a different arrangement here around the nuclei, and this is where we can see different arrangements of people and objects in the room, but we're all radiating at a different frequency. We're all creating our own energy field. And so when we're empathic, and we're wearing these spacesuits that are they're given our sensory, our data intake receivers, our eyes, our ears, our nose, our mouth, our skin is just one giant receiver of other people's frequency. So if you walk into a room and you feel the energy because two people have just been in the room fighting, you know what that feels like. And likewise, if you walk into a room where there's two lovebirds that are just really deep into each other's eyes, and you walk in and it's like, whoa, I can feel that love too. Now, as beings of sovereignty, we have the opportunity to choose to allow someone else's energy to affect us or not. And how we do that is we do spiritual hygiene practices, and I'll lead you through one of these visualizations so that you can feel more sovereign in your energy. And it's really important that we do feel that we know our sovereignty, because we are all here called to be lighthouses, and we are broadcasting a frequency of love onto this planet so that all who are in our reach can entrain to a higher consciousness. Entrainment, this is a concept that describes when two objects are vibrating at different rates, and the closer you bring them together, the more that they will likely to link up and start vibrating at the same rate. So if I walk into a room where two people have been fighting, and I'm not being conscious and aware and tight with my energy, I might be tempted by their energy to be drawn into that conversation in a way that would just feed that energy. Or I could walk into that room and be a light of love and just sit in compassionate witness of them and broadcast love from my heart into the room. And I like believing that that's how I can help. And so this is a perspective that we can apply to this entire country. We can apply this to the entire world. And I love to help activate people into more of their knowingness that they can help the world. There is hope for the world. And it begins with each one of us falling madly in love, unconditionally in love with ourselves first. Really just getting so solid on the fact that you are worthy of love, just as you see everyone in your life that you love as worthy of love. And there is no part of you or your human journey that isn't sacred and that isn't an expression of the divine I am, the source of love in the universe. And when I say I am, I'm referring to what the scripture says. There's so many holy books that I love, and one of them is the Torah. And in the Torah, there is a conversation between Moses on a mountain approaching a burning bush, and he feels the presence of God and the presence of the Creator, and he hears this voice, and then this conversation begins, and he asks what the name is that he should use in referring to this consciousness. And this consciousness responds, I am that I am. So one could choose to believe that I am is the name of this creator. And isn't it funny how we say I am hundreds of times a day? And maybe we're invoking the name of this creator every time we say I am. And when I say I am fully identifying with being that I am. And whatever I say next, if I'm made in the same image and likeness of this creator, by this creator, perhaps I'm also a creator by the power of my word. So feel the impact of that. So if I am saying I am sick, perhaps that is what I am now thinking, believing, saying, and hearing myself say over and over. So when I am working with clients, I love to help them to start seeing themselves as perfect as they are, and to define perfect as exactly as they are in every single moment. We are healed and we are healing. We are perfect and we are perfecting in every moment. And if you believe that what you radiate into the world, what you believe and see and say and feel actually does start to put life force energy into the fabric of this reality and like draw to you magnetically the things that you have now imagined and spoken into this reality, then we start to take more and more ownership and responsibility over the words that we will speak. And this is even more, gets more deep. From my nursing background, I love to think about how these words that I'm speaking to you they are sound waves, and they are traveling. It's just dips in the pressure of the air, and their sound. But when they enter your ear canal and they go and then vibrate that eardrum on the other side, now we're generating electrical current. So my sound waves are becoming electrical current going up your auditory nerve and into your brain. And then we have just, it becomes part of the person that is hearing it. And that electrical current now triggers neurotransmitters across the synapse, which is a quantum space. Definition of quantum is less than 1/1000th of an inch, I read one time, and that's about the average distance of the synapse. So now we have understanding, emotions, and sensory input that is part of this person's brain and body and experience. So, how much more conscious of each word that we speak might we be if we really believed that what we say becomes part of another person's experience and a part of them? So, when we're looking at a world that seemingly is having more challenges than we can hold on to hope that we can change or see the light in the tunnel through. And then if we all go into collusion with those who are around us in believing that this is terrible, and then we're speaking this, we're going into collusion. Okay, everybody has a phase of life, and sometimes we need to just indulge that part of us that needs to just grieve. I'm not saying we never speak things that are, true of our heart and our experience. And if I continually relate a very difficult, hard story to someone, if I am telling them about all of these things, what they're doing as they sit before me and listen, they are imagining in their mind's eye, they're seeing this event. And now it's also inviting them to feel empathically what I felt during that time. And so now, not only have I brought myself back to that event, I am also inviting someone else and their energy field. And now we have a frequency match of an emotional state that is in what is a lower vibration in the world. And if healthy bodies and healthy experiences of life are associated with the higher vibratory states, then we must be very conscious about the details that we are speaking over and over again. And what we can do is when we are tempted to have those conversations and relate them, we can just be conscious of every word and creating the conversation, speaking the words as if you really believe abracadabra, which means I create what I speak. Ooh, yeah, that's good. Words are like the vapors from our heart chakra being projected into the ethers. Thank you, Barry. Yes. Yes. There is a concept of the law of attraction, which these concepts align with. And in the teachings of the law of attraction, if one will concentrate on anything, think about it, and actually feel the associated emotions of what that envisioning would invoke, then for more than 17 seconds, after 17 seconds, then we are actually starting the amount of life force energy that we're generating and imagining this is now attracting things to us. It's become a magnetic beacon into our lives. So if you even believe that is maybe 1% true, I'm going to make sure that if I do start to remember or think thoughts that are not creating the world or my life the way that I wish for it to create. I'm going to catch myself. That is the egoic mind identity, the thinking mind that is generating a thought. Cancel before 17 seconds is what Kimberly just wrote. Yes. So we're gonna actually really taking ownership of each thought as either creating the life you do wish for or creating something less than what you know that you're here to do and deserve to become. Now, sometimes our souls will allow us to create certain circumstances. We have some karmic things to clean up, and they will come to the surface. It doesn't mean that we're doing this law of attraction thing wrong, incorrectly, or non-beneficially, but the more that we can take ownership over this creative power that we have been imbued with by our envisioning and our emoting, and by our speaking, that's like a trinity of creative power. So this is all going to come back and tie into how each of us in our mission, in our work here, is so important. We're so important. The teaching that we do, the coaching that we offer alongside these products, these gifts of the earth, these foods, these herbal medicines, coaching is key. And so if we wish to invite in more soul brand partners such as ourselves, and we're this is a very sacred tight circle of we're temple keepers and we all know it. And so to invite someone into our circle, it's someone who has agreed to come into alignment with this belief in abundance, and a belief in every word is sacred. And now we are, we're all supporting each other when we do this. It's reverence. Yes. Okay, so I wish to help. I'm going to run you through a little exercise that will help you to discern the voice of your higher self versus the egoic mind identity, also known as the lower self or the small self, also referred to sometimes as the thinking mind. And it's so wonderful to be able to understand the voices that we experience. So I'm going to have you close your eyes and repeat after me, but don't say it out loud. Just think these thoughts, form these words in your brain. And when you're done saying each of those words, go ahead and open your eyes. And if you feel aligned with coming on camera, that would be really fun too. And I'm not gonna, require this, but if you feel like, coming in and adding your energy to the room with your beautiful uh, face is um, something you'd like to do, do it. Otherwise, if you're just in that meditative state and you want to stay where you are, just stay there. It's totally up to you. Uh-huh. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so repeat after me, but don't say it out loud. And when you're done, just go ahead and open your eyes and maybe raise your hand or give me a little, yeah, just on the reaction, just raise your hand so we know everybody says it. Okay. Okay. And then I always love to ask for my guidance on the phrases that I will ask you to say. Okay. Mm, mm. I absolutely love this mission and these people here. when you've done with that, you've just said that very succinctly, you heard in your brain, in your mind, okay, so the part of you that told your thinking brain to form those words is your higher self. The one that responded and formed those thoughts, that is the consciousness known as the egoic mind identity, your lower self, small self. And we love this part of us. Don't mistake any of what I'm saying here as reason to um, disparage it. It is equally as sacred and part of this holy vessel as the vessel itself. So even though it gets us into some trouble sometimes, but we're going to love it anyways. So now I'm going to give you another phrase to say, and this one might feel like it's a little harder to actually say. So I want to just have you notice if you feel resistance to saying this, and say it anyways. Okay. So I'm just asking for my guidance here to bring in the phrase. The world is a very safe place, and I am safe at all times. So if that felt a little bit hard to say to you, were you still able to form those words in your brain? Okay. So the egoic mind identity and its memory banks holds evidence that will contradict that. And it might want to say, this isn't true. Now, when we go to our higher self, and if we are embracing this idea that we create the world by our thoughts and our beliefs, even if your body isn't feeling that, we have the higher self has purview over what it is creating in this world. So if there is fear running in this vessel, if you're feeling fear, and I might refer to it as a fear program, okay? So our vessels, like a computer, we receive a lot of programming. It's the experiences that we've had since day one in this body. If we're running a fear program, that means that our body, our vessel now is vibrating at the frequency of fear. Okay. And there is a concept that is called the map of consciousness. And I will invite you to look it up. And maybe I'll just go ahead and share my screen real quick so that you can see, because this is a very uh, for the analytical mind to understand this, it's almost soothing to the analytical mind to see this and to understand a way to see the The ascension journey really is what it is. Okay, here we go. A brilliant man named Dr. David Hawkins, thousands of studies with test subjects, and he was able to interview them and develop an energetic logging of 0 to 1,000 that would correspond with their overall predominant emotional state, their view of life, their God view, and their process. And how I see the process, I just mean like, how are you processing your life right now? Through what process are you understanding and being in life? And so you can see down here at the very bottom is we're talking survival paradigm here. This is where people are just feeling like they are just barely surviving life. And then we start to move into more reason and integrity. And then we move into the spiritual paradigms where we're in love and joy and peace and enlightenment. Shame is down here at 20. Pure enlightenment is anywhere from 700 to 1,000. And I've heard a teaching that said, and it was I choose to believe that angels can bring wisdom through what in old days might have been called prophets or oracles. And in some phraseology, they're called channels. And so I've heard a teaching that spoke to the fact that in most lifetimes, in times of past, a soul might only ascend about 5 points maximum in any one lifetime. And this is really the ascension journey. One could see that perhaps when our souls are just getting started, either in this lifetime or in many past, that we would spend time in these lower chakras. We would spend time in learning about these experiences. But then as we grow, as we mature, as we trek up the mountain, so to speak, we begin to vibrate at a higher frequency predominantly, higher and higher and higher. And then anything under this red line right here is considered a sleep state. So when you hear the terminology, people are asleep, what we mean is that they're predominantly residing in these lower chakral emotional states. And their view of this creator is just like, wow, why wouldn't you feel just despondent and angry? And so really it's the frequency. And remember this entrainment concept. If this is true, and we can be up in here in the joy and the love and the peace areas, you can see where just being around us is going to lift other people. And so that's what we're doing again with our beautiful gift of organic nutrition and getting all of the toxins out. And now it's time to also feed our spiritual body as well, and to help us to let go of the programming, the things that are no longer serving us and that would really tempt us to be in those lower chakral emotions, and maybe get sucked into feeling some feelings, or even maybe picking up some energies from like someone else. Have you ever felt that? We do a lot of teaching around parasites. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's I like to think about the worms inside us. They don't have malintent. They just know they need to eat. We don't have to be afraid of them. They just know that they need to eat. And so There are energies, this is my experience, that there are energies that have um, no bodies, but they have a consciousness, and they will be attracted to the human vessels when we radiate a frequency that is an energetic match for them. And so if we are resonating at an energetic match of these lower frequencies, then we can feel like, well, maybe I know all of these things, but there's like this thought that just keeps coming in, and it's not serving me, and I just can't really see, and like, I've just been feeling really depressed lately, and that's not me, or I've just been feeling really angry lately, and that's not me. It's like, well, maybe you just accidentally picked up a little parasite. And that's what Reiki, this universal life force energy, is so good at helping us to do. But it's also very, very important that we have the consciousness when we clear things. We want to have the consciousness of being tight with our energy so that we're just not inviting it back in. And how we can invite things back in is by just going into agreement with everybody when they say all of these things that would invoke us to feel hate or anger or fear, or maybe um, we've ended our agreements. It's important that we end our agreements with these influences in our lives. And when we say, if I say I'm going to end my agreement with addiction, and I believe as a sovereign being and a walking, living manifestation of the Creator, I have the power to say any being, any entity, parasite that is feeding off of my energy, I am clearing that now. I am clearing that now. And that's what a healer, someone like, a Reiki energy healer, a trance medium, someone such as myself, that will help you to identify when there's something like that influencing your life. And it's my experience that these things can even be handed down ancestrally through the DNA. And then there's like just certain things in the energy body, the quantum field, that if my ancestors maybe were in agreement with this addiction to this substance, and then now I take that substance into my body on a regular enough basis that I'm actually giving allowance for that influence to come in and have some type of now linking with my thought processes and my body, and it's making it really, really, really difficult to stop doing the behavior or the thought process that I know is not serving me. So when we can clear those energies out, then we have more sovereignty, and then we can be making the changes that we know that are in our benefit to make if we're really going to fulfill our divine purpose, which is to come and to be the beautiful light of love, the lighthouse of love, and shine it to all of those who will be traveling in their perfect divine order to find us. And we can be in compassionate witness of anyone who is in great suffering, who will not allow us to help them. And we can bless them, and we can trust that they will find their path to healing as their soul has perfectly designed, as the Creator in them has perfectly designed. So I'm going to say another phrase. Yes. Let us just drop in right now. Let's just close your eyes. Okay. Take some nice deep breaths. We're just going to bring in a consciousness of, if you identify with angels, I love to call upon Archangel Raphael, the healing angel, to just enter into this space with us And I call upon the higher selves, the souls, and the creator within, each one present, to bring forth the highest wisdom and the highest amount of healing that is available to us today. And so, what I would like to do is have each of you put up in your mind's eye, in your awareness, just see a dark movie screen, just a black movie screen with nothing on it. And we declare in this space that everyone's energies will stay with them, and this is a very safe and sacred container. And now I'm going to invite your higher selves to just bring in on that movie screen something that you are ready to clear. It's a belief, or it's an old memory that's holding you, and just bring in the very first thing that it shows you. It might be a moment in your life where it was a challenging moment, and who you were in that moment didn't necessarily know everything that you know now. And who you were in that moment didn't know your sovereignty like you know it now. And there was an imprint there that felt like a whack, like a draining of your energy, like a disempowerment, even. And maybe it was what was perceived as a failure, or maybe it was words that were said to you. What I want you to do right now is just in your present consciousness, your loving, activated, beautiful, loving consciousness. I want you to project yourself through space and time to meet with that version of you at that moment. And just come into the room with your younger self, and imagine being your younger self, feeling the presence of your future self coming in with this beautiful, loving message to give yourself in this moment. And in your heart, I want you to just wrap that former version of you up in your arms and your loving energy, and help that younger you to just feel that beautiful energy. And we can bring in even the angels also surrounding you to bring in the most powerful healing that is available to you today, to just soothe and heal, bring to the surface anything that needs to be felt right now. If there's emotions coming up to the surface, it is perfectly fine to feel that emotion and to witness it, and then to let it pass through you when you're ready. And we're just bringing in transmission of love. And my angels are asking to sing through me for you. So I'm just gonna, as you can see yourself healing yourself, healing. Healing, 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 healing. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Healing in this space. Healing for this family. Healing upon their journey. Healing upon their heart. Blessings, 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 blessings. And you can just feel all of anything that's ready to leave you, leaving you. And we're just sending it back to the source. And now I want you to envision a beautiful golden sun ball above you. We're going to call back all the energy that is available to call back through all of our lifetimes, all space and time, past, present, future, parallel lifetimes, calling back all the energy that has been drained off of us through the things that were released, the old beliefs, the old um, parasites, everything that was draining our life energy. We get to call that back to us and just watch that ball grow. And when you feel like you have called it all back, we're going to just give it a beautiful peppering of just self-love and activation and knowingness of how incredibly powerful we are in this world and empowering our missions here. And when you're ready, pop that over your crown chakra and let it just flow through every space within you, just filling up all of the areas where any energies that just left you are just being refilled and soothed and healed. And with your own energy, you can feel this like honey lava love coming down through all the parts of your body, down your neck and your shoulders and your arms and your fingers and your chest and your heart, your diaphragm, and just every part of your abdomen and legs and down to your toes. And now with that empowerment, we're going to just draw up that earth energy where we grounded from Mother Earth before and just feel her love pulsating up through your grounding cord. And we're going to form this beautiful new fresh aura bubble. You can drop the old one down to her and just form this beautiful new fresh aura bubble and give it a color or colors, just like a dropper of coloring into your aura bubble. And this is just, about a foot or two outside of your outstretched arms and your legs. And now visualize a beautiful big red rose right in front of your aura bubble and give it a stem that is going to anchor. It's about the width of your shoulders. Nice, beautiful rose. And this is a buffer rose. This is your protection rose. And we're going to anchor that stem deep into Mother Earth. And we're going to replicate that. And we're going to put one behind your aura bubble, anchoring it into earth. Put one to the right and to the left. Put one above your aura bubble and anchor that stem right down through your spinal column, through your chakra channel into the earth. And now we're going to put one below our aura bubble as well. And can you just feel how beautiful, sovereign this space is that you've just created for yourself? And this is where you can go anytime that you have an energy that is affronting you or tempting you to engage with it, and you become aware of it. Just put up that aura bubble, put up your roses, and then project love out from your heart. And I want you to just all bring in everyone in your life that you love right now. Everyone. Feel that love for them. Feel the gratitude in your heart. Feel the gratitude for this life. Bring in your inner child. Bring her, him up, them, bring them up onto your lap and give them a big hug and hold them and feel that radiant love in your heart for all of it. And now expand that love like a blooming rose out into the room. And now we're all connecting with each other through the airwaves, through this Zoom space. We're all just going to feel the love, feeling the love and projecting it out into your town, into the city, into the state, into the country. Let your love radiate out across this planet. You are here to shine. Your wave of love, your tsunami of love is crashing across all of the continents and oceans and blessing the waters and clearing the waters, healing the waters with your love. That's how powerful you are. Circling the planet, circling the planet. This is how we help. This is how we know our purpose, what we came to do. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for doing this work. And now just coming back to your bodies and feeling whatever you feel in your heart. And if you want to share that when you're ready and not before, you can open your eyes. May it be with the blessings of the divine creator that everything that happened here in this healing session was for all of our highest good, our highest light, and our highest soul purpose. Aho, I love you all. I love you all. And I would love to open up if anyone would like to share, if anyone needs to go. It is a little over the hour we planned, but it is a sacred time that you are free to stay and be with us if you'd like, or if you need to go. I send you many, many blessings and so much gratitude for this beautiful space and this beautiful honoring. Thank you for being open. And if anyone needs any support, please reach out. I love you all.